WCUR Westchester. This is Virtue Signaling with Colin and Kira. And we have just come from our second show at Station 142, featuring the bands Daisy Chain, Higbee, and Here Again. And here with us tonight is Here Again, after they closed out the show at Station 142 with their very nice set. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I speak for everyone else with that too. And we're going to hear some songs that you played in that set in a little bit, but we're going to start out with introducing the band. So again, you are called Here Again, and we will just we'll hear from who you are. Let's hear who you are and what you play.
My name's Aiden. I sing and play rhythm guitar for the band.
My name's Noah, and I play lead guitar.
My name's Tim. I play bass guitar.
And my name's Alex. I play drums and I sing backup. I can't speak.
All right, so there's the basic outline for the band, some names, and we're going to hear their work right now. It's called She Decides from your EP of the same name. And we're going to talk about some other music you have coming up that you're going to be recording. But for the here and now, we're going to play She Decides from She Decides by Here Again. We're back with Here Again, and we're going to hear some more about the band. Your name is kind of self-referential because you were on hiatus for some time. And, let's hear a little bit about that, some of the history of the band.
Yeah, so we formed in 2019. Aiden and I, maybe it was more like 2018 actually.
Yeah, we started practicing together in 2018.
Yeah, and
we met in high school. We met in a class in high school. I was like, and I was wearing a Metallica hoodie. He was like, who does this dude wear Metallica?
Yeah, like most people at our school, like they would know of the bands, but it's like whether or not they play music is you gotta talk to them. And so I talked to Aiden. Like pulls his earbuds out. He's like, "What are you talking about? What is this?" And we, ever since we've been friends. That was 2017.
You know what song I had? I had Meshuggah playing.
Yeah, I think it was Bleed.
I had it like max volume. He's like, "What are you?"
I could hear it from like 2 seats away, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is gonna be interesting." So I better go talk to him, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like I taught Aiden guitar because he knew guitar before that, but I showed him like certain things. Like I think maybe I showed you drop D, like maybe, like, but nothing like crazy, Like I showed him that, like a couple little things because it's like not like I was much better at guitar back then.
I was a fresh guitar player. I was only playing for like a year or two.
You had like a cheap like LTD, and I taught him how to do that. We played a few shows in 2019, 2020, and then obviously COVID happened, so we didn't get to do anything since it was probably 2020 March was our last show.
Yeah.
At Fens, rest in peace.
We used to play at
amazing.
There's a coffee shop in Westchester called Finn's, and they had an upstairs, and you could play. Like they have a bunch of DIY venue bands come through and play, and we played there a lot. That was one of our first concerts actually in 2018 or 2019.
It was huge for us because we only played at the school before that.
Yeah.
Which was like senior prom fundraiser or something like that.
Yeah,
I think.
something like that.
So it exposed us to it, and then we had a band member, an extra. He was more of like an extra member rather than like a permanent full-time member because he played bass for us, but he just wasn't able to show up to practice, typical type of thing, and we were just like, all right, I don't know if this is gonna work out. And
so we started off as a two-piece,
Yep.
and then as 2019 was closing, we got a third person to play with us. He was our bass guitarist, and he also played guitar sometimes as well. So we switch off back and forth. And I played bass sometimes, and he played guitar sometimes. And then around when COVID happened, we had a falling out with him.
Yeah.
He was no longer in the band. And then by COVID happened, I wanted to focus on college more. I was going to Westchester at the time. And that's what we were focused on. I had to tell Alex, like, yo, man, I can't focus on the band right now. I got to focus on college.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because I was really like excited to do stuff with the band at the time, and I knew Aiden wanted to as well, but it was just one of those things where like he has to make money somehow. He has to focus on his career, and I accept it.
Yeah.
So
being a two-piece, I really wanted to be at least a three-piece.
Yeah.
Rather than bass something just to add that extra layer. And now we are four-piece.
We're four-piece, which we never thought was gonna happen. Yeah. We were always like, it'll just be a three-piece because everyone we found was just like really flaky, and we'd have to teach them, and unfortunately at that point we just didn't have time to do that anymore.
Guitar,
so it was like when we first found Noah, and he was introduced to us through Aiden. He was a friend of a friend, and Noah ended up. We were looking for a bassist, and we found a couple people, but they weren't able to follow along with us because we do a lot of kind of weird timings and stuff like that, and we found.
For a while, I was like, because I was still new to the band, I didn't know if like, should I make suggestions? Because I knew a guy, but I was kind of letting them take control, like find whoever they wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have a friend who's a bass player who's really good.
Yeah.
Like, have him come in. I was like, yeah. I was like, my homie Timmy.
Yeah. And, he just like, I was just like, just kind of going through the normal stuff, working my normal job, just kind of like whatever. And then he just like hit me up, and was just like, hey, you want to join a band? And so I was like, sure. And I joined up and went to practice, and those guys were like, you're in.
Yeah,
And
it was like the first
since.
practice. We were just like, oh yeah, no, this is gonna work.
I think what's most important for a band is you're all friends outside of the band. It's really easy to make it work. Things go wrong, arguments happen, but when you're all friends outside of the band, it's so much better. You know what I mean? It's easier to continue on and go through the hard times because we're not like coworkers. We're all friends outside of the band.
Yeah, and we all want this to work, and like we all
Yeah.
We all care about
We all
the
believe
music,
in it. Yeah, we like doing it for fun, but even if a gig's not paid, like we're doing it because we love doing it. It's what we want to do. There's like a business type of aspect to it. Obviously, you've got to manage yourself and you got to do all that stuff, but. Once we picked it back up, because, with him going to school, it was hard for him to go to practice. We still practiced. We still hung out. We still would jam. We're always, me and Aiden were always trading guitars or doing something stupid with guitars. So, which guitar is kind of like my second instrument. Like, Feel, that's a song that I play, like lead guitar on, and I also play like a backup, like, melody on it as well. So yeah, like it was definitely cool to get two members that were also just as interested in the project as we were. So when we got that, we knew and since we all get along so well and we're all friends outside of it, we knew that it was going to be something that could actually take us somewhere rather than like sporadically do stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. So you guys mentioned that most of you have been playing your instrument since a young age.
Yeah.
Where do you think that love of music stems for you?
Dude, my dad was playing all that cool band stuff.
Yeah,
That's like
good
Susie and the
stuff.
Banshees, Devo,
Nice.
all that stuff. So I grew up listening to like alternative music, and
Yeah,
that's kind of where I started.
and it's the same thing for me. Like my dad would play that. My uncle's a musician. He plays guitar.
Your dad's a musician.
Yeah, my dad's a musician
so
too.
His dad is like, I was in a band.
Yeah, he used to play at like CBGB. He
nice.
probably did that I think he did it 4 times, and then like right after that he was like, yeah man, it was like a joke. I'm like, what? Like, it was like, yeah, we're almost the house band for CBGB. I'm like, that's not a joke. I'm like, that's something serious. And they got pretty popular. They they got on the radio a few times. I think they were played a lot in New Jersey because that's where they were from. And like my mom wasn't always like super into music. She likes it more now. But like it was mainly like my dad, my uncle, my uncle Steve also, my uncle Reagan. He doesn't really play an instrument, but he's always had that passion there. And that I started banging on pots and pans when I was 3. And here we are now. So
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you go
You go
ahead,
ahead,
man.
bro.
All right. Yeah. Same thing with me. My dad was in a band too. Growing up. Tim's heard the band. Because I used to play in it too. But growing up, my dad was in a heavy metal band back in like the early '90s, late '80s called Vortex, and he was a bass player for that band, but eventually going to lead guitar player. My uncle sang for that band, and then my other uncle played drums for that band. And then once they left the Vortex name and became another band called Deep Seated, everyone in that band except for the bass player left, and then they recruited a new bass player, which was my other uncle. So whole family of
It's the Partridge
musicians,
Family.
growing up.
Just in the blood.
Exactly, yeah.
Literally.
I grew up listening like Ozzy Osbourne, Van Halen, Skid Row, all that type of stuff. So
You hear it.
that's a lot of my influences. Yeah,
It's
I'm a
cool.
Randy Rhoads guy by like in the beginning, then
Yeah.
going to Van Halen, and then like Nuno Betancourt. You know, that's my
Yeah.
jam. I'll let you talk, Tim.
All right. So for me, my grandfather, he was like one of the most important people in my life. Rest in peace. But he was a musician at heart too. Like he was a great guitar player. He had a lovely voice, and you know, he played bluegrass with his brothers and stuff around Nottingham, Oxford, Rising Sun, and stuff. But he was always very passionate about music, and he kind of liked to branch out into like listen to other different types of stuff. You know, more modern music and stuff too. And my dad was always really big into music. Not like, you know, he wasn't a musician, but, you know, he was very passionate about listening to it, going to concerts and stuff. And, you know, he loved that stuff. So he put me on to a lot of good, like, Southern rock, you know, all the good classic rock, you know, 70s stuff, 80s stuff, hair metal, all that, you know. It's stuff I grew up on. I love it. To this day, I still listen to it a lot, and it inspires me a lot. So.
We all have different influences in here.
Yeah, like Aiden's probably more like industrial, like shoegaze
like
type
Ministry
of.
and stuff.
Yeah, we bonded over that type of stuff. Like, you know, like I said, when we were in high school, you know, in science class. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be in that class, and neither was I. Like, we both got it put in that class, and, you know, thank God it happened. You know?
I think it's wild, like, cause we kind of how me and Tim met is kind of mirrors how you guys met in high school, because that's, you know, we met in high school, and he was the only guy that was bringing his instrument to school just like me. You know?
Yeah.
So like,
You know, I bring my bass to guitar class. I was playing bass for the guitar class.
We bring it in on like we bring it on the school bus, you know, and take up like 2 seats, and then I noticed he rode the same school bus as me, and I'm like, what's the other guy carrying a case?
We lived like right down the street from each other.
Yeah, it was wild, and for a while, because like we had a talent show, and I was trying to find someone to make a band with, you know, and I was like, I got nobody. And one day, like, I just saw him walking down the hall. I was like, yo, dude, like, you play bass? He's like, yeah, man, check it out. And he unzipped the case, and I was like, oh, it's cool, man, you know.
Sounds like me, right?
Yeah, that sounds like Tim.
Yeah. And then I was like, you wanna jam sometime, like make a band or something? He's like, yeah. So you know, some workarounds. You know, I had a cousin who played some drumming here and there, and then one of my classmates was like, yeah, I'll sing. You know, I don't really sing, but you know, I'll do it for you know.
He's a great singer.
Yeah, you know.
Forrest.
Yeah, he was cool, man. Forrest is cool, dude. Yeah.
Did any of your uncles join the band? Any
the-
uncles? No uncles? in that
For
band?
the talent show band?
Yeah.
No, it was all schoolmates, you know.
High
Awesome.
schoolers.
They had their own thing going on, and then
34-year-old dudes coming in your band.
I actually, because it was during that time, I was recording with them too. I think because I had a bunch of projects and stuff going on.
Yes, I remember you gave me the deep-seated CD and stuff.
Yeah. It was cool, man. You know, and then I learned through guitar, like self-taught, and then half I went to the School of Rock in Downingtown for a while. You guys,
I went there too,
you
yeah.
went there too?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I didn't go there. I don't do School of Rock.
Aiden's too cool for that. I tried to, and my parents couldn't afford it, which, you know, is what. Up there goes the lights. Well, now we got the Roxanne lighting, so we're
For
good.
those just tuning in, we're here with the band Here Again, and we've now got some crazy mood lighting in the studio.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
We're setting the tone.
We're setting the tones.
I'll say I was speaking to Tim at the show earlier, and he said that he joined the band in December. And so we've
Yeah,
had
about that time, right?
Yeah.
this iteration of the band since then.
Yeah.
And I want to hear about some of the stuff you guys have going on now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
We have an EP. We're trying to record a 5-song EP coming up in December with Noisy Little Critter as a studio name. It's in Thorndale, Downingtown area.
Yeah, about that.
It's a pretty
yeah.
cool studio.
Great
They
place.
recorded CKY there, like a Bam Margera. You know Bam Margera? Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone Everywhere, the Midwest emo band, they recorded 2 of their EPs there. I
Yeah,
believe.
Mike Bartzig, right?
Yeah, Mike Bartzig.
Mike
Yeah.
Bartzig's the producer there. He's really cool. So
He's
we're
great.
gonna record there in a couple weeks.
He's actually, like, I saw him at a party that I was at with my girlfriend, and he was, it was for the lead singer of the Ramones. I don't know if you know them, but they're like a Philly area band, and they do Ramones covers, but they're all moms, so the Ramones.
Awesome.
I think it's cool, and yeah, no, it was funny. I saw him there. I'm like, yo, what are you doing here, man? And you know, it's such a small world, you know.
For
It's
sure.
crazy how intertwined everything is, but yeah. So we're gonna record there. We hope to get like 5 songs on it.
Yeah.
You know, eventually we want to start like, you know, merch wise selling like CDs, tapes, maybe even a vinyl if it's feasible. They're definitely expensive, but
Yeah,
you know.
making merch is expensive.
Yeah, making merch will run you broke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanna try to, you know, even if we get like 4 songs on the EP, at least throw them all together into something, you know. So yeah, we're doing that. We've got a couple
That's
other
what
songs.
we have gigs coming up, gigs around the area, Philadelphia, Greater Philadelphia area. We play in Delaware. We play in PA. We just played at Kennett Square yesterday.
Yep.
At this
Kennett
called
Flash.
Kennett Flash. Really
Yep.
cool. We played there before too. We played there like in 2019.
October 19th, 2019.
Yeah, that
It's been
was a
6
really
years
good
since we
gig.
played there.
Yeah, and it's
So yeah,
different
we've been
owner.
around for a while. We took
Yeah.
a long hiatus, that 3 or 4 year hiatus before we kind of got
Yeah.
out there.
I
told
think it
Alex,
was almost 6
one of the reasons
years.
why it was such a long hiatus because it's for a band. It's really important that, like, for me, like, that you're friends with the other people in the band. And I didn't just want to invite anyone in the band. I want
Yeah.
to get people
Same
that
here.
I'm friends with, and that's why we're active now again. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're
I
actually
think it's a
friends.
big
Like,
part
we're
of this
actually
bonding, you know,
yeah,
it's-
Yeah.
we're
actually
enjoying this
doing
together.
it.
We
We're having fun.
waited probably 4 or 5 months of practicing, maybe more, until we did our you know, our first show back in September. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a long time, and you know, we want to make sure. Like, I've been in bands where I'm not really friends with any of the people, like, or like I'm friendly with them, like I'm easy to get along with, but they just, you know,
You're not.
creatively, and it just doesn't line up, or something's not there, and it just totally messes with the vibe, and it's just a much better thing to have, you know, like Rush has been going for years, and they're all friends, you know, like they've been going for probably 50
Yeah,
years
Neil,
or something like
what's the
that.
drummer's name? Neil.
Neil Peart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rip Neil.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Drummer.
But now they got a new drummer, so
Yeah.
hopefully I don't get replaced. But
For the future, we have that. We're gonna record in December, and we have a few gigs coming around.
Yeah.
But that's about it. You know, for the future.
Hopefully
we would
some
like
merch,
to get
too.
Some more, more shows. You know, we'd like to play.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely bodes well to be friends. I know Colin and I just went and saw Primus a couple months ago, and you
Oh,
can just,
cool.
Is that
you
Les
can just
Claypool,
tell.
the bassist?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, I think I have a
they
friend that
all
went to
got to
that
be
scene.
such good friends. They look like they're just having a party on stage.
Yeah,
It's such a good
that's the
energy.
fun thing. Like Tim's usually like really focused on the bass, and then like you see Noah and I are just like goofing off in the corner. Like Noah's like doing a face at me, and I'm just like, you know, on the drums, and Aiden's got to focus on singing. So, but it's always fun. You can see that we're all friends.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I
like
always try
especially
and
before
make,
and after.
Alex laugh so he messes up.
Yeah, he tries to mess me up.
We're trying to make him mess
He almost did it the other day. So you know, he's
Noah's
getting there.
legendary for making those faces.
Yeah,
It's
Noah's
like,
really
it's like,
good.
dude, stop.
He can be shredding a solo and just like make a face and
We
be,
gotta-
like
we gotta-
jump around. It's ridiculous.
We gotta humble Noah. He thinks he's good at guitar. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta humble him. Break his neck in half,
You gotta
like
take
saw
my
it
strings
before the
and, like,
gig, and then
make
he
them
goes to play a
Hendrix
G chord and
style.
rips
Like,
off.
And then I flip it around, like I can still play it. Like,
Yeah, it does a lot to see a band that's like laughing on stage. Where
Yeah.
it's not like where you don't get the impression that everybody's like too self-serious.
Yeah,
People are
it's-
just having fun.
Yeah, you
Um,
take people too seriously.
For that EP, just real quick to clarify, you're talking about trying to get a number of songs on there. Do you have a hard cutoff for when you're trying to put that out?
Well,
Probably.
it takes a little bit because we have to get it produced, and that takes like a week.
Yeah.
Because he does it. The guy Mike Bartzik, he does it in person. Like, you're there in the studio, you're paying him to do it. He records and produces the songs, and then after a couple of weeks, he does it the day of the recording, and then after some time, probably a couple of weeks, we will
We'll get
make
the
the finishing
tracks.
touches. We'll
Yeah.
agree on if we like it or not, and then we'll put it out to
Fight over
Spotify.
whose instrument needs to be the loudest.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
song.
Alex likes his stuff to be loud.
I think it just depends on like how quickly we can get the songs done.
Yeah,
But,
I'm
like,
aiming for like January.
January,
maybe like January 1st. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were all kind of
It'd
thinking.
be my
about.
birthday too, so that'd be
Nice.
really sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a New Year's Eve
New Year's baby. So, you know, we've got like a lot of the songs that you've heard are the ones that we want to throw on there.
Yeah. We
Like
had an 8-song set tonight, or we
Yeah.
cut one of them.
Yeah, we cut one.
We have an 8-song set usually, and about 4 or 5 of those will go on the EP.
yeah,
And then we got some other stuff, yeah, we're working on. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on like a thrash song too.
yeah,
Alright.
that's
we have
really
a lot
fun.
of,
little bit
we have a lot of
different.
different songs going on here.
Yeah.
Like our genre is like grunge with like a punk and shoegaze type of thing.
We're really experimental.
Yeah, very experimental. Which is cool because it incorporates all of our music tastes. It's not like it's just like one thing. You know, I mean, I don't know if you'd ever catch us playing jazz, but you know, you never know. Give it another couple years.
Being Alex here with some jazz cats.
Yeah, we love jazz. We one of the first things we talked about, I think, was like John Coltrane and Miles Davis. So, you know,
Our cat's named after Charles Mingus.
Oh, really? That's
That's
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
Mingus.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, sorry, so I got distracted because I was thinking about Mingus.
Where's Mingus?
Anyway, do you guys have do you have a name for the EP, or is that going to come out of the process of
It's definitely
putting it
come out of the
together?
process. We have some ideas.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say them on air because I don't know them for sure.
Yeah.
We're still kind of
We have
thinking like the
some
cover and all that
Yeah.
stuff too. You know.
ideas.
Yeah, the cover we haven't agreed on. We have ideas, and I think we're gonna work on them. We're probably gonna like make like 4 different ones, and then like out of the 4, like maybe like say, you know, me, Noah, Tim, you know, have an idea, and then Aiden has another one or whatever. You know, we'll put them together and, you know, figure out what we like best, and hopefully go from there. You know, hopefully it comes sooner than later. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to a special edition of Virtue Signaling with Colin and Kira. We are here in the studio with Here Again. They just played the WCUR show at Station 142. It was a fantastic set, guys. I am curious, where does the name come from? Here Again.
You want me to answer?
I'll say what I think, and then he can.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead. Because we don't really know, do we?
Yeah, we just kind of jumped in here. So.
Yeah, they just jumped
It's
in.
really me and Alex. We're the founders of the band.
Yep.
You know, from 2018. We went to a Ron Artiste show, which is like what is that, like a jazz?
Blues, like fusion. He's
Yeah.
playing with G Love and Special Sauce.
G Love is like a Philly guy. Right?
Yeah, Philly guy, like blues, rap, rock.
And we were talking about making a band back then we were just jamming. We didn't have a band name or anything.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were gonna make a band, and we're like, what should the name be? And I
No
started coming up with a name. I had a list of names. And
I still have it.
One of the names on the list I had was Here Again. I was like, that's kind of catchy. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. I was like, yo, what do you think about this? You're like, yeah.
like it just like
I was
clicked. Yeah, it's pretty much that.
I just thought
like,
it was kind of catchy, and it kind of has like a semblance of the name. Like someone's like, oh, Here Again.
yeah,
I don't know.
it rolls off the tongue. Like, I mean, I'm sure there was other ridiculous ones.
We could have been like Acid Bath Grandma, something random like
Yeah.
that. Trying to make it some more like easy to.
Yeah, like
go on
King
top.
Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is memorable because it's that crazy long name.
Yeah.
Like, amazing band too, you know. But like, you know, Here Again is easier to remember because it's 2 words, you
For
know.
sure, yeah.
And it's fits good on a sticker. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think like, you know, we were riding back on the train. I mean, we were so tired. Like, it was probably like 1 in the morning. It was the last train.
We were on the
day,
way
like,
home from that gig, that G Love gig, and we were
Yeah.
like, oh. But we were sitting next to him on the train. I was like,
Nobody on the
I was
car
like-
either.
I was like, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? And he was, and then we kind of made an agreement on that. Here Again.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right.
Yeah, I think we sent it to a couple people before we like agreed to make it, and then
Yeah, the one thing about it is though, sometimes you'll release songs on Spotify, or we've seen that there's other random bands.
yeah,
that
there's
do
like
it.
a Russian rapper that
Yeah.
goes by
I saw
Here
that.
Again or
Yeah.
something, and we're just
Yeah.
like,
He has,
well,
like,
this
one
isn't
or
our...
two songs or something.
and it's a picture of us on the cover too, and we're just like, what?
Sometimes
Like,
Apple Music and Spotify, when you release music through DistroKid, they will mix up names.
Yeah.
So if there's another random
Yeah.
Russian rapper that has the same name as Here Again, so you'll see our picture with some Russian rapper.
and that's not us.
Yeah.
I mean, if I knew how to speak Russian, maybe I would be rapping, but
Yeah.
you know, that's not happening today. So,
That's awesome. It's interesting. It sounds like a lot of the aspects of your band are just really organic. I mean, you all came to love music really organically, met
Yeah.
each other organically, named the band. Do
Yeah.
you think that has something to do with your longevity or your success so far?
Yeah, no AI, bro.
no AI. No AI was writing
Do you
this.
guys see
stuff.
the shirt that Dylan
Oh,
and Daisy Chain had?
yeah, I saw that. It
For
was
the
awesome.
for the listener, the bassist of Daisy Chain who played at Station 142 today had a white shirt that he had written on in marker saying
Stop it.
"Stop AI slop." Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I like
love
that.
that.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I
know he
saw.
had something. I just didn't read it.
Yeah.
Well, he had a flannel on at first, and I
Yeah.
didn't notice it, and then we started playing. I saw it. I was like,
Yeah,
I
we're
like
a no
that.
AI band. We don't do anything AI.
No AI.
All writing.
Apart from
I
my
feel like that's
girls.
a problem now. I feel like it's a problem. now.
Yeah, it's-
It is,
It's actually
yeah,
taking
it's-
over
it's
Spotify.
taking
It's getting
over.
listeners and
Rampant.
stuff too. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty dark actually. But
It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
bad.
grim. We were back to the kind of silly stuff, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah.
ignoring the dread of AI.
The existential threat of being exterminated by a machine.
Yeah, we'll get around to that. But our friend of the show, band Red Letter, we were talking to them, and one of their guys, Eric, was saying that he's seen on Spotify that thing of like DistroKid kind of screwing stuff up, where there will be some obscure rock, maybe like singer-songwriter thing that he listens to.
Yeah.
And then he'll see that, they died in the 80s, but then, they put out a new song.
Yeah.
And it's some
I've
random
seen that.
thing of like a completely different genre.
One of
So,
my favorite bands, Morphine. They're from the late 80s, early into the late 90s. Their lead singer Mark Sandman passed away on stage. He had a heart attack, and so I know they're not releasing any music. And I saw that they had released something, and I'm just like, oh, cool. And I downloaded it, and it was like some anime music, which I love anime music. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, this is definitely not them. But and kind of to answer your question, I think that the success so far and the the ability that we have to just the opportunity that we have, because we're all so we get along so well, I think just helps a lot to for the longevity of it, because Aiden and I have been doing this for at least 6 or 7 years, so
Probably longer.
yeah, probably a little longer, because it was 2017 when we first met, and I would kind of consider that a band if you're really practicing that much. We practice almost every day,
Yeah.
and that's how we got to the point where we are now. We're all me mostly self-taught, Aiden self-taught, Tim, I don't know about you or Noah, but
I mean, I said earlier I was a school rock.
Oh, school of rock,
He's-
right,
He's
right,
a
right.
school
Yeah.
guy, bro. He keeps it
yeah, so he learned. He's cheating.
Yeah,
I don't know about
yeah.
Tim.
Well, like I said, I met Noah in guitar class, so I started out playing acoustic guitar.
Oh, okay.
Learning the
Yep.
basic chords and stuff like that, and then started playing bass and stuff, and liked that more and stuck with it. And then Noah showed me a lot of stuff. And like I said, I started practicing more.
Yeah.
As I met Noah and stuff, and we started hanging out and jamming out. And
This is exactly how
We really tried to push it when we did Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was above my skill level at that time, and that part took me so long to get down,
Yeah, because we did 2 talent shows. The first year we did Back in Black by AC/DC, and that was it's AC/DC, so it's not too difficult.
Yeah,
but,
it's pretty easy.
Then we're like, let's do Welcome to the Jungle. And then did we try to do some kind of, what did we do in the beginning? We mixed it up with
We mixed it with Heartbreaker.
Yeah,
Led
yeah,
Zeppelin.
that's right, yeah.
Because it was in the same key, that part, right?
Yeah,
And it changes into it, and then we just
Oh,
seamlessly
yeah,
that's
put it
right.
together.
Yeah,
It
we
was
did
really cool.
a small little montage of we just threw in the riff of Heartbreaker into it right before the build up from Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah,
and then
you
we
realize wait, that's the same note.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we were like, we could mash it together.
We
Yeah, it
did
was
that
really
with
cool.
Safe in My Head and She Decides for our last gig. We didn't have time to do that this one, but it's the same sort of thing where I do my drum solo at the end of Safe in My Head, and then I start doing and it goes into She Decides. So
Nice.
Yeah.
having a medley like that is always electric.
yeah,
But,
it's amazing.
And whether it's really cool if it's a band and songs and you see it coming, but just in general, if it's having that kind of die down a little bit,
Yeah.
the explosion again, that's
Almost cooler if you don't see it coming at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true. It's to me it's one of my favorite not tricks, but features of a show.
Yeah,
that-
it's you don't see it coming at all, and then it just blows you away.
it grabs you.
Incubus did that at a concert. That it was my second concert I ever saw, and they did that into it was Pardon Me in the Drive or something, and it was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then organically do that in one of your own shows is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
All right, so we're going to work towards closing out with Feel
Sure.
here, and we're just gonna go across with you guys. If there's anything more you want to say,
Yeah,
to get
where
out
can the
there.
people find you?
right?
yeah. So follow us on Instagram. It's at Here Again Band. We are on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, and we have some of our lesser known stuff on SoundCloud. More demos, stuff like that.
We're on YouTube too, right?
YouTube, yeah, we're on YouTube as well. We're gonna upload some more of our stuff there too. Hopefully, some of our shows. Tim's brother Mike has uploaded a lot of our shows to that. So like the full set. He wasn't there today, but yesterday's show is on there. It's on like a vintage camcorder, so definitely
nice.
check that out
That's
and
cool.
support us with merch. We take no donations on Venmo, so it all goes towards
the
recording.
Instagram is @HereAgainBand.
All right, and I'll just go down the line to each of you individually.
Sure.
Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Thank you for listening to our music, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
man.
Yeah, thanks for having
I
us.
just want to thank,
Thank you guys for
Baby
coming
Jesus.
on.
Of course, we're so happy to have you on, and make sure to be on the lookout for their new EP coming maybe January 1st, maybe?
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe. And if you want to find out when it's coming out exactly, go to the Instagram.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
it.
band.
Are there any underscores or
No, it's
punctuation
just
or-
all one.
Just Here Again
Yep,
Band?
just Here Again Band.
And on streaming, it's here space again.
Yep.
Space
Yeah.
in between the words.
Yeah, if you want to find out where they're playing next, you also have to go to the Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All roads lead back to short form content.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
And some videos from this show at Station 142 tonight will be going up on the radio station, that is, YouTube channel,
Oh, awesome.
WCUR 91.7 FM. So that'll be going up sometime soon. And yeah, there's a lot to look forward to from Here Again for what's out right now and what's coming out in the future. And we will thank them again for coming on to Virtue Signaling with Colin and Kira and for playing at Station 142 tonight. And this will be Feel, also from the She Decides EP from Here Again. Thank you. Have a good night.